Welcome everyone to the Summer Challenge workout. Today we're going to be working on upper body. So if you have your packet or if you've already downloaded it, you can refer to that today. That's the workout we're going to be going through. Our main goal today is to work through the workout, make sure you're comfortable with the workout, make sure that you have an idea of how we want that tempo to go. And then because we're recording this in week 2, we are going to be following that week 2 protocol, which is increasing our repetitions to 15 to 20. Today I'm going to be doing 15 reps, 2 sets of 15 reps just to get you through that program. If you want to continue afterwards and you want to add that extra set, you can. We're looking for somewhere between 2 to 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. In that last week of the strength challenge, though, we will be looking to increase those reps for good. So all up to you how you want to do it. We're going to be using dumbbells for this strength today. That's the main equipment that we use throughout this program. But you can always use resistance bands. You can use, if you are working out at a gym, you can use the fixed machines. This would be the pulling machines where you set up the weight and go from there. The idea is that we're looking for a push, a pull, a push up, a pull down, different things like that. So we'll go through those different mechanics today. With anything, we always want to warm up the body before we start any strength training protocols. Because this is upper body, we're going to do mostly upper body warm-ups, just a few of them here to get you warmed up here. But what we want to do is just start with these arm circles here. Good. Big arm circles, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and switch those arm circles. Good, good, good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and just with the hands, we're just going to push them forward and push them forward. Crossing the body, just pushing out, pushing out. Good. We're just trying to get the rotation of the body going. Also getting all the pectoral muscles going, little back stretch. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lift them up now. I want you to reach to your toes and just a little sit in and then reach up nice and tall. Squeeze those shoulder blades as we reach off. I want you to do about 2 or 3 more of these. Good, good, good. So reaching up. Reaching down, sitting in, squeeze those shoulder blades as we're up. Good. Reach, sit, squeeze those shoulder blades. Let's do one more for good measure here. Good. And very good. With any strength training protocol, you can also do what we call a warm-up set. So for instance, our first exercise is going to be an overhead shoulder press. You can always do a no-weighted shoulder press for 10 reps. We call that a warm-up set before you do each one. So if you have a chest press, you can do a no-weighted chest press as well. All right, so those are just a couple ways you can kind of warm up the body before you actually get into a weighted version. Now, I have the chair with me today. Ceiling height puts me in a seated or a kneeling position. You can be standing, but I have the lower ceiling, so I'm going to go ahead and do a seated version of that shoulder press. And what we're looking at today, whenever we talk about the tempo that we're looking for, we should always be looking for, unless we change the tempo, a 2-2 tempo. All right, 2-2 tempo is 1,000, 1,002. No pause, 1,000, 1,002. So we're basically looking for that 1,000, 1,002, 1,000, 1,002. Just that nice, easy, consistent tempo. All right. So let's go ahead and pick up those weights. What we're looking for here. This is an open shoulder press. I want to show you the different versions before we get going. So this is an open shoulder press, meaning we're going to press like this. All right. You can do a closed shoulder press. If you've had shoulder problems in the past, I would like you to close it off and do it this way. The difference is when we're open like this, the head of the humerus is sitting outside the pocket. All right, so it's a little bit more vulnerable. If you have no shoulder issues, all the muscles and the ligaments are going to protect you. You're fine. This is a fine press. But if you've had shoulder issues in the past, this way right here puts that head of the humerus in that pocket more, so it's just a little safer. Only difference, a little bit more difficult here. It's going to get a little bit more frontal deltoid and lat, if you will. All right, so just the differences there. let's go ahead and get started here. We've got 15 reps is what we're going to go through. 3, 2, 1, press them up. 1, 2, good. Trying to stop at that 90 degrees. We're not going any lower than that. Excellent job. Now, if you did 10 reps last time, this is the extra 5 here. Excellent. 2 and 1 more to go here. Boom. So whether we are standing or sitting, always tightening that belly to spine. What we talk about is pulling that belly button through the spine, tightening there, but still breathing. All right. Excellent job there. So exercise number 2, we have our bench press. Now, if you have a small bench like this, you can do the press off of that. Since we assume that most of us are doing these from home, don't have access to the bench, I'm going to show you all the floor press. But realistically, the only difference between the floor press and the bench press is that our feet are hanging off, right? And when our dumbbells come down, there's nothing to catch them. But the distance down should be the same. We shouldn't go past the bench. That puts a lot of pressure on the shoulders. Distance 90 degrees, press it out. If you're using the bench, make sure that your knees are at 90 degrees or higher. They should not be hanging, all right? You should not be having your legs. So what I mean by that, if I'm laying down in this case, my knees should not be like this. They should be at that good solid 90 degrees. The higher they are, the better they are. You can even put them on top of the bench. That will give you a little bit more core. But if you're reaching, you're arching your back, and that's what gets us in trouble for bench presses. So just make sure we're aware of that. If you're doing it from the bench, same exact thing. If you're doing it with me from the ground, what we're looking for, dumbbells always come onto the thighs for safety first. From there, tighten the belly, lay it back as you support the dumbbells over the chest. All right, from here, we're going to turn them. We want to be at 90 degrees of the arms, and we want to be over the chest. We're going to push them over the chest and then support them down. And if you're doing them from the ground, you can let that elbow touch the ground and then return up. If you're doing them from the bench, you just want to stop at that 90 degrees. Okay, let's come down here. We've got our 15. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Press them up. Stay over the chest. Tuck that belly to spine. Good breathing. 5 more now. This is our 15 repetitions. Last 2. Last 1. Bring them to the chest. Elbow bend, nice and easy. They come down. That is our chest press. Again, making sure we're not arching the back. Make sure we've got that back flat into that bench. That is what we are looking for. Number 3 is going to be the single arm row. Now, you can also do this from a bench. If you're doing this from the bench, we did have the bench for, yeah. So you would have the opposite leg on the bench. You would have the foot here to support. Hand is down. Back is flat. You see how I'm not rolling and I'm not arching. Back as flat as can be. We're going to pull straight, back down. If you don't have a bench or chair that you're working from, you're just going to be on all fours. Same thing. Back is flat. Pull up, back down. Those are the 2 versions that we're going to be looking at. I'm going to actually do it from the chair to show you that bench version on this one, but you can do it either way. I do prefer, if you have an elevated surface like a couch or a chair, I do prefer that, because you'll notice when you're in that all knees position, your back's a little elevated. It's still flat, but it's a little elevated just because your arms are straight and you're on your knees. So you're a little bit elevated on the chest area. If we get to this chair or bench version, I can be much flatter in my back, putting me a little bit more safe, if you will, in that core and back, low back region. So tuck the belly, 15 pulls, here we go. Pulling right to the side. Concentrated pulls. Last one on this side, 15, very good. I'm just gonna switch around to the other side. This is one of those few exercises where we are going to be doing opposite sides, if you will. For the bicep curls and the raises, we'll be doing both at the same time, but this one's difficult to do both at the same time. Flat back, 3, 2, 1, pull. Elbow goes a little higher than the back. Tuck that tummy. Keep that head down now. You can look up to make sure you're doing it right, but the idea is to keep neutral spine. Last one here, and number 15. Excellent, excellent job on those. All right. So we've got the first 3 of our 6 done. This is what we call a traditional circuit. So we're going to go through the whole circuit once, and then we'll repeat it. That's how we're going to do these. You can do it where you do 2 sets of a shoulder press with about a minute rest in between. Then you do 2 sets of the chest press, 2 sets of the rows. You can also do it that way if maybe that's the best situation for you. Maybe you're in a gym and you just can't open up all this equipment that you need to go all the way through. You can do them in individual circuits. That's fine as well. I prefer the long game, doing all 6 in a row and then coming back. Okay, bicep curls. I'm going to show you all 2 different ways to do bicep curls. So with the bicep curl, we have open-ended bicep curl, standard. It starts at the hips, comes to the chest, back down. We can also roll it, so we can start with the palms facing the hips, roll it up. This one's a little bit more effective for rolling both heads of the bicep during the exercise, so that's kind of why we see people roll it. Now, here's the secondary part of the bicep curl. Nice and tall, squeezing the glutes, standing bicep curl. What we see happen a lot of times is this when we get tired. So another version I like to talk about is a wall bicep curl. So the feet have to be about 1.5 feet off the wall, and we're a slight bend in the knee, almost like we're sitting on a seat, or like a stool against the wall. Tuck that belly to spine so that the lower back, there's no space. That way we're supporting the back. And then from here, we curl, we come back up. Safest way to do a bicep curl, because when I get tired, guess what? I can't lean back. The only thing that's going to happen is my arms are going to get too tired, and that's going to tell me that the weight is too much. Okay, so those are our 2 different versions of that bicep curl. We are going to look for a palm facing hips, open up and back down to those hips. We got 15. Take your time in these. It's not, don't use that momentum. Nice and slow. The only thing that moves is your biceps, your elbow joint, if you will. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Nice curl. 1,000, 1,002. We talked about 1,000, 1,002. That's 1. 2. Nice, slow, concentrated. 3. 4. Great job. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 14, one more to go here. If you find yourself pulling back, 15, if you find yourself doing that little jerk, then maybe try the wall for that second set. That would be the key to getting that right. All right, we're on to front raises next. Now, front raises works at anterior deltoid area, small muscle groups, right? They get tired real easy. I call them the shower curtain arms because you're ever putting on a shower curtain arm. After all those rings, you're kind of like exhausted. So this is building that musculature. It's made to pick up the arm, but it's not made to hold for very long. So find your weight. Make sure they're not too heavy. Very simple exercise here. Slight bend in the elbow. Come straight up. It doesn't go way up here. Come straight up to chin level. Back down. That's it. Here, back down. Same exact thing I'm going to tell you that I told you with the bicep. If you tend to do this to get it up there, get against that wall. Put that lower back into that wall. That way you can't cheat, and that way you can't put your back at risk. Here we go. If not, tighten that belly to spine. Tighten your glutes. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 15 raises. 1, 2. It's not a speed race. Consistent reps. 3. Great job. Nothing else is moving but your arms. Try not to be stiff-legged. We got 3 more now. And last one here. Excellent, excellent job. The one thing I've learned with shoulders, with those front lifts like that, front raises, never overdo it to where you're having to do this. Or those last ones, you're pushing it. They're small muscle groups. They do need to get stronger, but they also don't need to be overused. Biceps, triceps, same way. The chest and the back and the legs, they're a little stronger and they have more interconnected muscle groups that help to support when you get a little tired. Shoulder raises got nothing else. So make sure you don't overdo that. All right, we're on to our last one. This is the only one without dumbbells involved, and this is going to be your standard push-up. All right. If you were to ask me, I still say the best 3 exercises you could ever do are a push-up, a squat, and a pull-up. Right? They're the best body weight resistance exercises you could do anywhere, anytime. All right? You could maybe put the hip bridge or the crunch in there with them, but those are the 3. That's why we added the push-up in here. When we're talking about upper body, it's going to take everything we just did and incorporate it all together when we're doing that push-up. Couple things with the push-up before we get going. You can do a couple versions. There is a wall push-up, right? Hands are against the wall. We go up on the toes. We come into the nose, back out. If you fear that balance, then bend the knee a little bit, nose and here. Want to make it a little more difficult, drop the hands a little bit. This will extend it a little bit more. Then we come over to a chair or a bench push-up. Same thing. We can go all the way down the ladder from a wall all the way down, maybe a tabletop that's supported. Make sure that it supports you. To a couch, to a table, to a bench, to a chair, wherever you feel comfortable doing the push-ups. Secondary on that is, or the last one version of that is going to be from the ground. We want to make sure that our hands are above our chest. I'm showing you the modified ground push-up from the knees. We're down, back up. That's as simple as it is, but we don't want to do this. See how my butt stays up? Bring your butt with you on your push-ups. Your whole body from the butt up has to come with you for that push-up to work. You don't have to get as low, but you can't. You do these, and that's all shoulders. And it's not really getting what we're looking to accomplish. And then the last one, of course, is our straight push-up right here, where we're going to do body weight down, body weight up. We're looking for 15 of these. So if you need to start with a regular push-up, then drop to the knees for the last 4 or 5. That's totally understandable. The idea is tighten the belly to spine, 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up. It's not a race. It's not pumping really fast with a push-up. Let's make it worth it. All right, I know we're taking our time in this first set, folks, but it's all about learning form today. It's about learning how to do these correctly and maybe just learning something new about your body when you're doing these workouts. Now, you could be here. This is the toughest version. You can open up a little bit in the legs. It'll give you a little bit more support. Up to you. Do the version that's best suited for you, and let's do our 15. Here we go. 1,000, 1,000, 2, 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. Now remember, you can drop to the knees, right? Same thing. Good, good, good. We got 5 more left when we're doing them from the knees. Make sure you drop those hips. You don't want to be way out here doing it like this. Drop those hips. 3 more. 3, 2. Back up for 1 more here. And 1. Excellent, excellent job. Shake those arms out. You worked really, really hard in that first circuit. Second circuit, a lot less explaining, a lot more doing. All right, get a brief rest whenever we finish these circuits. From circuit to circuit, there's no rest when we're doing a big circuit like this. It's whatever rest is you getting to that circuit or me talking through it, right, in this case. This round, a lot less rest, a lot more doing, and then what you do is you rest about a minute, 30 seconds at the minimum, but about a minute in between circuits before you jump into the next one. Take that little breather. I'm going to grab a little sip of water. And we come back into those shoulder presses next. Very, very good. Second set is also when you use your true weight. So when we get to the end of the strength challenge that last week, when we talk about increasing sets a little bit, that's the real difference maker when we start adding that set, because we really have to have the right weight. When you're doing 2 sets, set 1 is not a practice run per se, but it is the first round of seeing what your body is capable of that day. Second set is pushing your body to its full capabilities. So if it was a little tough, stick with the weight. If it was extremely tough, maybe drop the weight a little bit. But the big thing is we want to keep the repetitions the same. So we don't want to shoot for 15 or do 15, but shoot for 12. We want 15 reps. So if you have to downsize the weights, you can. If not, let's get ready for our shoulder press here. Going to be a little quicker, less rest periods, more doing. Here we go, 15 presses, 3, 2, 1. You'll notice I'm blowing out on the way up. Exhale on the exertion of force. 5 more. Great job, great job. And exertion of force is when you're pushing, basically. Whenever you're working the hardest. Okay, on to the next one. Chest press on the ground. Come on down with me, whether it's a bench or the floor. Find your comfortable position. 3, 2, dumbbells on the sides. Up we go. Bring it back with us. 3, 2, 1. Good presses. If you're doing it from the ground, there is the option, if you're comfortable with it, of adding a abdominal component to it by lifting the legs, but only if you're comfortable doing the press. I got 5 more left. Exertion is on the way up. That's where the exhale is. And 15. Bring it down. Comfortably bring those down. lay them down. For this round, I'm going to show you folks the all fours row, just in case you don't have that good bench or chair to use. Excellent. All fours, you see that the back's still flat, but it's just I'm a little elevated up top. That's okay. As long as the back stays flat. 3, 2, 1. Pull. 1. Keep that head down. Five more now. Excellent, excellent job. Go ahead and rotate around. 15 on the other arm. Again, flat back. Tighten the belly, the spine, tighten the glutes. Here we go. I got 5 to go now. Excellent, excellent job. How we feeling? Feeling pretty good. I'm gonna go up a little bit in my biceps here. Up to you, what you wanna do based on your previous exercise. The other thing you could do is sit on a right angle bench, right? That'd be similar to against the wall for the bicep curls. But if you can stand nice and tall, if you can bend at those knees, squeeze that belly to spine. Let's do our 15 curls. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. We got 5 more. No moving, right? Arms are getting tired. Last one. Excellent, excellent job, everyone. Very, very good. Up next, we're going to roll into those shoulder or front raise. Good, good, good. Just getting some dumbbells out of our way. Always want to make sure we're in a safe place. We're not putting ourselves in jeopardy with dumbbells around. Here we go. 3, 2, remember, bend at the knees just like the bicep curl. 1, here we go. 1. Great job, great job. Just lifting at the shoulders, right? Not jerking with the back. Four left now, 4 left. And last one. I guarantee you with those front raises, if you do them correctly, you could use no weight and still feel those. They're very, very good for the shoulders. Good to practice those front raises. Beauty of a lot of the upper body stuff is you don't need a ton of weights, a ton of things. You can, a lot of times, use very minimal weights probably the chest press and the row were the biggest things that we needed to work on more weights with. But that's just how it goes. All right. We got our last one, our push-ups. We put it all together. Let's handle them. You'll see me switch from high push-ups to knee push-ups. If you're doing the wall, try to go a little further down with the hands. Maybe try to have a table that's structural, can hold you, or a couch, and try to do the last 4 or 5 on a lower surface. Up to you, though. Here we go. Last 15 of the day. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Last 5. Let that butt come with you, even if you're doing it from the wall. Last one of the day. Excellent. Excellent job. Let's take just a minute here. Shake those arms out. We can be from the knees or we can be seated or standing here. And I want you to take those arms, clasp them together, reach it forward. Good, good, good. 3, 2, 1. Let's open it up. Pull those shoulder blades back. Three, 2, 1. Let's pull them across. Did a lot of upper body work. Want to make sure we get that good stretch in. 3, 2, 1. Let's switch it up. 3, 2, and 1. Bring those hands, reach them as far back as you can. If you're in a doorway, if you have a doorway close, do that doorway stretch where you step into that doorway and push forward so it stretches out that chest. Good. And if you have a chair nearby, I'll show you my favorite upper back stretch. Taking that chair. You can do this without the chair. Just reaching forward. Drop that head through. Feel those shoulder blades stretching out. If you didn't have the chair, right? Do the same thing. Just kind of pushing that butt out. You'll get a little hamstring in there without the chair, but you'll still get that back. If you have a roller chair, push that roller chair forward. Don't let it run away from you. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, excellent job, everyone. You completed your second week of the upper body workout. This will be available on, it'll be available to all of you. We'll send you the link in the next email next week. Remember, next week is adding dumbbells. Make sure you're comfortable with what you can add. You can't particularly add dumbbells. You can just add a little bit more reps. You did 15 this week, go to 20 next week, okay? If you don't really have those dumbbells to add, that's another way you can do that. It's adding more time under tension. And then we finish with adding those sets. But if you guys need any help, you can always reach out to your fitness staff on the fitness portal with all the questions you need. Thank you so much for joining me for this upper body workout. See you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, thanks, Cam.